The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
Now, back to your turn on 1330 WEBY, Northwest Florida's talk radio. The phone lines are open, so call in and join the conversation at 623-1330.
Aren't you glad that you patiently waited? Carl is back. He is in the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio, and you are with him. Freedom Friday with Carl Gallows.
All right, folks, welcome back, America. People, I'm getting ready to bring Mike Zullo back, but I've got to tell you something amazing's going on. My brand new book is out. It's called The Rabbi Who Found Messiah, the story of Yitzhak Kaduri and his prophecies of the end time. It is an astounding, amazing story that's still happening, still connected to geopolitical events. The book went up today on Amazon. It's 8 weeks out from being, deliverable. People are pre-ordering it. When it went out just a few hours ago, it was ranked number 14 million on Amazon. A couple of hours later, I just looking at it, it's ranked number 59,000 out of 16 million books, and it's number 73 in the field of eschatology. I mean, that's amazing. Just in a couple of hours, it went from 14 million to 59, and it's already in a bestsellers, top 100 bestsellers rank, and it's 8 weeks from being deliverable. Thank you, folks. Thank you. God bless you. This is going to be a blockbuster. It is. It really is, and I'm excited about it. We'll talk more about that later. Let me bring Mike Zullo back on. Mike, welcome back to Freedom Friday. Hey, listen, Mike, WND just published an article a couple of days ago declaring that they had an exclusive interview with Congressman Stockman, who says that there is legislation, or he's working on a bill to bring this to a congressional investigation, what you're doing. That's got to give you a little bit of excitement and hope, because this is what you and Arpaio have been pushing for 2 years.
It does, and it was an exclusive interview. Obviously, we don't have the connection to WND. They made that on their own. And, it's encouraging. I know Steve wants to do something. He may be a lot farther along than I even know. But, time is going to tell, and I fully expect Steve to take some kind of action. I truly do. Right.
And I want to thank you for saying that, Mike. I want people to know, Mike Zullo, and I'm going to say but I'm not nearly as involved in this as Mike Zullo is. But Mike and I have talked to Steve Stockman together. But Mike Zullo and Steve Stockman are not in cahoots. I mean, they don't sit around and plot and plan every day. Steve Stockman's a congressman. Mike Zullo's an investigator. Mike took the stuff to Steve. Steve's got it. He's working on it. That's why Mike says, I don't know where Stockman is on this. I don't call him every day. And Stockman doesn't owe Mike Zullo any information any more than Mike Zullo owes anybody else any, information. But they do keep us informed. They keep Mike Zullo informed as it moves along. And so, that's why you said that, right, Mike? It's not like you.
It is, Carl. Look, all I can do as an investigator, to make a word picture, is I can only bring the football to the 50-yard line.
Right.
Somebody else is going to have to take it and make the goal.
Right.
And it's going to be up to somebody else to do that at some point. But that's why we do what we do, and we keep doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
We'll bring as many footballs as we can. Somebody is going to have to run it into the end zone, though.
Right. And it's exciting to see that Congressman Stockman he's kind of stuck his neck out there and said he's going to do something, and now he's telling WND that he's got legislation. Apparently he told Congressman Ted Yoho that he did and asked Ted Yoho to be a part of it with him, and so that's on record, a video record, so we know that. And again, Mike Volin, where's ObamasBirthCertificate.com's got the sheriff's kits. A lot of his people are taking them to congressmen. There are other congressmen, Congressman Barletta and others. He's from Pennsylvania. They're saying that they're taking a serious look and might get on board this. So this thing is snowballing, and it's got to be exciting. So what you and I have been talking a little bit about this, Mike. There's this. You and I are a little concerned that the so-called Republican Conservative Party, they're not conservative anymore, the Republican Party may be getting ready to try to do a constitutional fix on this natural-born thing. Dr. Grace Voto is calling for Christians just to get out of the Republican Party. She thinks they're evil. And so what do you think? You smell something wicked in the air concerning this Obama scandal.
I really do, Carl. I didn't know about Dr. Joyce saying that. I kind of feel the same myself, and I'm a lifelong Republican, but my party is leaving me now.
Right.
And I'm very concerned that what's going to happen here is going to be some kind of resolution or something done through Congress that is going to make it okay to get far away from the original intent the founders had for the President of the United States to be a natural-born citizen.
Right.
And I think that fixes in. And let's be, candid about it. They don't want Ted Cruz, but they did want Marco Rubio.
Right.
And Marco Rubio, from everything I can see, other than him being born in the United States, he doesn't qualify under natural born on any level.
Right.
And I think that you're going to see that happen. I'm very concerned about it, and I don't think there's much anyone's going to be able to do about it.
Right. Right. Well, isn't it amazing and isn't it hypocritical that it was the progressives and the liberals and the talking heads on liberal media that started screaming about Ted Cruz not being a natural-born citizen?
Well, Carl, that gives a whole new meaning to the word opportunist.
I'm telling you.
They'll use this. They will use this to give their guy a pass once again and make it all okay and try to take this argument off the table.
Right, right. Well, it's going to be astounding. It's going to be amazing to watch this. And let me reiterate this, Mike. Again, as always, if I misspeak here, you correct me. But it's my understanding, let's say worst-case scenario happens and Stockman folds on us and Yoho folds and Barletta folds and, and all these special prosecutors, people, they just say, we're just not going to fool with this. And if that happens, your idea is that worst-case scenario, plan B, is to package up everything you have and release it in every format you can to the entire world, whether that's television, radio, documentary DVDs, books, movies, whatever. You want the world to see what you were sitting on and Congress refused to deal with. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, Carl, because as far as I'm concerned, look, this may come as a shock to people, but this, for me, is not about President Obama.
Right.
This, for me, is the pursuit of the truth.
Thank you.
And if Congress or whatever, if they fail, if they want to brush it aside, the fact is this has happened, and this can never happen again. And the only way you stop history from repeating is to expose it.
Right.
And we're going to have to do something. I mean, this cannot happen. You cannot have an entire nation be misled by a faulty document. It's
right.
just it's mind-boggling to me.
Right.
And I'm just not going to sit by and let it happen, and I'm not going to keep people in the dark either.
Right. And everything you just said, plus it all goes to whether we're going to be a constitutional republic or a banana republic.
It goes to the rule of law, Carl.
Right. I
mean, you just can't do things. Something like this 20 years ago would be unheard of.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's just look at your situation. How can it be that criminal law enforcement officers do a 2-year criminal investigation, find out this information, the media won't touch it, Congress won't touch it, the courts won't touch it because they're all terrified? That would have never happened just a couple of decades ago, right?
Right, but you also have to look at it from another perspective, is who's controlling all that?
Yeah, I know, that's true. That's true. Mike, we're going to have you back. We're up against a hard break. God bless you, Mike Zullo.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.